Okay, today you're taking the next step on working with exponents. You're going to start working with exponents that have decimals. So your base will be a decimal number, and then your exponent will be a whole number. So an example would be 0.3, which is your base, to the third power. This 3 right here is your exponent. So that's your base. That's your exponent. Same thing you've been doing for the past couple of days. There's a couple things dealing with exponents that I didn't go over on the first video because I didn't think you'd run into them with your lesson, and I didn't want you to be overwhelmed with information. But now that you've been doing exponents for 2 days, you'll all have a good grasp on them. Your scores have looked really good. I'm going to introduce them. So coming up to the first screen over here, any number that has a power of 0, when I say power of something, I mean that's what exponent it is to, is equal to 1. So 7 to the 0 power, 7 exponent 0 is 1. 52 with an exponent of 0 is 1. 7 and 43 hundredths with an exponent of 0 equals 1. So any number with an exponent of 0 is going to equal to 1. So 1,283,426 with an exponent of 0 equals 1. That's just something you have to remember. So if you ever see a number, so any number with an exponent of 0 or to the power of 0 is another way of saying that is going to equal to 1. So 5 with an exponent of 0 equals 1. Alright, another rule you got to remember is any number to the first power, to the power of 1, or has an exponent of 1, is going to equal the base. So if your base is 7, your exponent is 1. 7 to the first power is equal to 7. 8 to the first power, or with an exponent of 1, equals 8. 92, exponent of 1 equals 92. 4 and 23 hundredths, exponent of 1 is equal to 4 and 23 hundredths. Once again, that's something that you just got to remember. Moving on to some decimal problems, we have 7 and 2/10 to the second power. All that means is 7 and 2/10 times 7 and 2/10. And then here I've worked it out for you. 7.2 times 7.2. Basically, you just end up with multiplying decimals. This multiplies out. I come up with 5184 after doing my multiplication and my addition. I have 1, 2 places behind the decimal in the problem, so I have to have the same amount in the answer, and my answer here is 51.84. Got another example worked out for you. 0.2 to the third power. So what that means is 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2. So you see where I've got these two lines here. I start out by multiplying the first two together. 0.2 times 0.2, and I get that answer. That's the answer, 0.04. And then I bring this last 0.2 down to multiply again. And after multiplying these out 3 times, I come up with 0.008. I will do one more example to where you can see how I work out one that's got multiple steps like this. So we'll just go with 0.6 to the third power. So that means 0.6 times 0.6 times 0.6. Alright, so I take 0.6 times 0.6, and that's going to be 6, carry my 3, 6 times 0 is 0, so bring my 3 down here. Done with that part, move to this, 0 times 6, so mark that place out, 0 times 6 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. So I end up with 6, 3, 0. I have 1, 2 places behind the decimal, so that's how many I'll have in the answer. So the 0.6 times 0.6 gives me 0.36. Well, I still have this one, so I have to bring it down and multiply this answer by that. So times 0.6. 6 times 6 is 36, so 6 carry my 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. So 1, carry my 2 up here. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So 2, 1, 6, so I'm done with this one. Moving on to this. 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. So I end up with 2, 1, 6. I have 1, 2, 3 places behind the decimal. So I'll have 3 places behind the decimal in the answer too. All I have is 3 places, so all 3 fall behind the decimal, and I can put a 0 out here for good measure. So my answer is 0.216. Alright, your turn. I'm about to open up a new page. I'm going to do 3 little example problems, and then you're going to work them out. So the first one, see if you remember those rules, is going to be 7 to the 0 power. The second one is going to be 4.38 to the first power. And then the third one is going to be 5.2 to the second power. Alright, I'm going to get you to work all 3 of these out, so pause the video now, work them out. Alright, should have these worked out by now. If you remembered the beginning of the video, any number with an exponent of 0 is equal to 1. So that's all you have to do there. Number 2, any base to the exponent of 1, the answer is going to be what the base is. So 4.38 to the first power is 4.38. So I'm done there. 5.2 to the second power means 5.2 times 5.2. So all I got to do is work that out. 5.2 times 5.2. First of all, there's 2 places behind the decimal in the problem total, so there will be that many in the answer. So I just got to remember that for when I'm writing the answer. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10. Done with a 2, so moving on to the 5, so I've got to mark my place out there. 5 times 2 is 10. 0, carry them out 1. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. So I have 6, 2. So I'll do my addition here, so I've got 4, 0, 7, 2. 2 places behind the decimal, so my answer is 27.04. If you have the answers for all of those, you're in good shape. Go ahead and start the lesson. If you didn't, rewatch the video. Get you some more practice in. Good luck.